The power of patience. There was once a young man named Anne who dreamed of becoming a master craftsman, someone whose hands could turn simple wood into art. Every day, he visited the village workshop, watching older artisans carve beautiful furniture with precision and grace, and wanted to be like them, skilled, respected, and successful. But every time he tried to carve, his hands trembled. The lines were uneven, the wood cracked, and his teacher often shook his head in disappointment. Frustrated, and muttered one day, "Maybe I just don't have talent." The old craftsman, his mentor, smiled gently and said, "Talent will bring you to the door, but patience will help you build the house." Anne didn't quite understand, but he continued practicing. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. Still, his work looked rough and imperfect. Some of his friends started to move ahead, making money, building reputations. Anne, however, seemed stuck in the same place. Doubt began to creep into his heart. "Why am I the only one not improving?" he thought. He even considered quitting. One evening, as he sat outside, watching the sunset fade behind the mountains, his teacher walked up beside him. The old man handed him a tiny seed and said, "Plant this tomorrow, water it every day. Then come back to me when it blooms." Anne did as he was told. Days passed, weeks, months, but nothing happened, not even a sprout. He started to think it was all a joke. But remembering his teacher's words, he kept watering the soil every morning. Almost 5 years later, the ground finally cracked open. A thin green shoot appeared. Within weeks, it grew taller than him. It was a bamboo tree. Excited, and ran to his teacher. "It finally grew," he exclaimed. The old man nodded and said, "That's the Chinese bamboo tree. It stays underground for years, growing roots deep enough to support its height. Once it's ready, it shoots up faster than any other plant. Do you see now?" Anne's eyes widened. So all this time, it was growing, just not where I could see. The teacher smiled. "Exactly. Your patience was never wasted. You were growing too deep inside." Those words changed Anne's life. He returned to his workshop, not rushing anymore. Every cut, every polish, every mistake became part of his growth. Years later, Anne's furniture was known throughout the land, not just for its beauty, but for the calmness it carried. People said his work had soul. One day, a young apprentice came to him, frustrated with his slow progress, and simply smiled and handed the boy a seed. "Be patient," he said. "Even the tallest bamboo began as something invisible." Patience is not waiting for things to happen. It's trusting that what you do today is shaping who you'll become tomorrow. Growth often happens in silence, beneath the surface, until one day it blooms all at once.